Hello everybody. I know it's been a little while, since I made another video. But, it's been a good thing because now I've been racking in, more experiences, more things to talk about on this channel. I just got a new, camera back right here, so, better quality videos gonna be coming out. Um, and yeah, today I just wanted to talk about how I know everybody has that voice in their head. Sometimes it's more, more controllable, or like it's more faint than noticeable to others, and it's more noticeable to others. Um, and then there's people who listen to it, and then there's people who take a second to think about what the voice is telling them, and then they go from there accordingly. Because the voice can be wrong. The voice can be sabotaging you unintentionally. The voice can be planting fears into your head that aren't exist, or that you don't need to fear, and it's stopping you from putting out ideas that would change your life. Okay. Now, by the voice in your head, I'm trying to say your intuition, right? Your intuition, your ego, whatever you want to call it. And let's say, okay, let's talk about female approach, right? Um, the voice in your head, right? The voice in your head, you have to sometimes ignore it, because your intuition might be sabotaging you or stopping you from getting to a certain point out of fear, or out of survival, to protect you, to keep you alive, right? It's a survival mechanic. It's a survival tactic that humans have adopted, right? And somehow, we live in houses, we live with heat, TVs, phones, but our bodies still react like we still live in the wilderness, like we still fight every day for our lives, right? Um, but some people are also unaware of the voice. Some people are consumed fully by the voice, right? It's who they fully are. They've been consumed fully by the ego. They only listen to the voice. They don't step outside the voice and observe what the voice is saying, right? They just follow whatever the voice is saying because they assume it's them when it's really not. That's what a lot of people miss, right? A lot of people miss that the voice is not always right, but you're always right, right? So that's why you need to step aside from the voice and address what the voice is saying, and just, when you know how to fix this, to really fix this, you have to be present in every thought you have. Every time you think of something, run a background check to see if it's logical, to see if what the voice is telling you is logical. So if you're walking down the street and you look someone in the eye, right? And you get that immediate signal to look away, or you get that embarrassing feeling, or that exposed feeling, right? And then your intuition is like, look away, look away, or your brain's telling you some sort of thing, right? It's not comfortable. Sit with it. Keep looking that person in the eye. You're not gonna die. Your body's not gonna malfunction. You're not gonna, like, nothing's gonna happen to you. If anything, you're gonna learn something from it, right? You're gonna learn that you can separate yourself from the voice, and the voice can't help you, but it can also, deceive you. So yeah, people will not observe themselves. They will not detach themselves from the voice. They are consumed fully by the voice. And it's a force that's meant to control your decisions. It's meant to control your life, and how you maneuver through your life, because it wants to protect you, right? It's your nervous system wanting to protect you. But it's a force meant to control you. Yeah, it's a false alarm is an attempt of a survival from a perceived death situation. I have another example. Let's say you work at a retail store, right? And you're checking somebody at the cash register, and let's say, right, you have to offer protection or a warranty, right? And you get that overwhelming feeling until it leads up to it, right? That feeling of, like, you feel like you're gonna get rejected or something when you're just offering warranty. I don't know if this happens for everyone, but that type of stuff. That's an example of the voice trying to control you, to protect you when there's nothing to protect you from, or when there's nothing to hide from, right? Um, but yeah, I would like to see. I would like to explain how this correlates to interacting with women, right? Uh, let's say you got a woman that you're talking to. Let's say it's a woman that you're hanging out with. Let's say it's a woman that you're friends with, that you're talking to, that you're dating, whatever. And you, every time, whenever you first hang out with a girl, and you're not used to being around them, right? You will get that sense of fear or dread when you're with them. You'll be scared of what you're gonna say next. You'll be scared of how you're gonna articulate yourself, how they're gonna think of you, right? When there's nothing you can really do about it. First of all, the best thing you can do is act as yourself. But um, just that fear inside of you when nothing bad can really happen, right? That fear of rejection. That's a survival mechanism because people. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but this is really true. This is like a study, right? P, uh, ancient humans, right? Ancient humans, Neanderthals, other, homo, homo species, right? Like Homo sapiens, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Australopithecus, oh, let me not give all human species, right? Our ancestors, and then Neanderthals and early humans, right? Homo sapiens, uh, they would all experience what's called like they would fear rejection because rejection meant being kicked from the group and living on your own and most likely death, right? So being within the group is how you were most protected. So your nervous system built to fit that standard so that you could survive, or that the human species as a whole could survive. That's why I think the conscious is such like a sacred and rare thing, because the conscious isn't in any other thing than a human, or it's not any more, a consciousness isn't any more complex than what's in a human, right? um but yeah, you do have to ignore that voice. You have to go against that voice just to see what's on the other side, and so you can learn from it, right? Do something that your brain is screaming not for you to do, and you'll learn that you can't believe yourself every time, or you can't trust what that voice is saying, right? You're not what the voice is. The voice isn't you. That's completely separate. That's just your ego and what the world has taught you, right? You yourself, your spirit, your humor, your just your authentic self. That's separate. That's you evaluating the voice. So the person evaluating the voice, that's you, right? And then the voice is the ego. Um, but I just feel like this whole topic completely correlates to self improvement, and it's essential to self improvement. You're not gonna get very far without it, right? Like for example, right? If you're working out trying to get lean, if you're on a diet, you're eating a certain way trying to get lean, your body's gonna be screaming for the food. Your body's gonna be screaming for you to stop moving, working your body. Your mind is gonna be screaming for you to fall into the distractions, like sex, drug, like any other distractions, right? Your body's gonna be screaming for you to fall into those because it's a way to cope with what you're putting your body through, right? But you need to put your body through that because that's the only way you're gonna get better, right? So that's what I mean by you have to ignore it, how the voice can really affect you on your self improvement journey, right? And it can go into a lot of different things. But yeah, another thing that can really help out with your self improvement, is you have to really have like a unique view on the world, and you have to like you have to be like someone who just really thinks about the world a lot, and how it works. But you have when you get to a certain point when your life when you're quite aware of yourself, right? You're quite aware of the world, and you have things together. You're gonna be seeing every day as sacred, right? Every day as a blessing. every day that you're alive is a blessing. Like the way I'm happy every day to wake up looking like this because it could all end any moment, right? I could get a big ass scar across my face. I could lose my mouth. I could lose my hands. I could lose everything, right? At a moment's notice. I could lose my hair. My hair could start falling out, right? So it's like just be grateful every day for the smallest things. You have to think about the smallest things. Let's say even if you're going through depression or if things are just going hard on your journey, you just have to think about the little things. You have to enjoy the little things. Take a little walk. Go outside. Look outside how beautiful it is outside and just see how blissful it is. Watch a movie that you used to watch as a kid, man. Like that shit is beautiful for real. At a late night, just watch a movie you used to watch as a kid and go to sleep, man. That shit is something so simple like that. I just got into anime again, like, and it used to be so like therapeutic to me when I was younger. And but I never thought I could get into it again, but I'm watching it now and it's calming me down like it did as a kid. And many things haven't been able to do that since I was younger, right? So it's like it's still inside of me. It's still a part of who I am. But yes, every day is gonna feel like a vacation. Every day is gonna feel like a dream or like something like time is about to run out. And you should think like that because that's how you're gonna get shit done in a short amount of time, right? You should be feeling pressure. You should be feeling like you don't know where you're at. You should be feeling like you're lost and you don't know what's gonna happen next. You should be feeling like that. That should be happening. If that's not happening, you're not moving forward. You're stuck and you're stagnant, right? So just taking everything, every certain experience as something to learn from, as something to take from and to internalize, right? When you say you're hanging out with, like, I just internalize everything that's going on. Is how I became so aware, right? Observing adults, how they react with each other, observing, and then comparing it to how I would how people my age, interact. It's just like small things like that is how you're gonna determine things about the world and sort of understand things. Being present and like not just sitting there and thinking too. Even that is just discipline, right? Let's say you don't have enough heart to go to the gym. Let's say you don't have enough heart to start on a diet. Try sitting in your bedroom. Try waking up, right, and waiting 2 hours to go on your phone, 3 hours to go on your phone. You can't do that shit, but that's easy. That's easy. If you can't work out, you should be doing that, right? If you can't eat right, you should be doing that. Sitting with yourself and thinking without being on your phone, without stimulating yourself with some sort of device, right? Without eating, without going to go hang out with your smoke buddies, without going to go smoke pot with your buddies, right? Sit with yourself for an hour. Sit with yourself for 30 minutes and just think. Read a book for 30 minutes in silence. Don't put on no YouTube video. Don't put on no music. No. Sit there for 30 minutes. But you can't, right? That's sad. That's sad that none of y'all can do that. And it shows just how weak you are, bro. Like, get your shit together for real. You should be able to do one or the other, bro. Okay? Another part of the self-improvement and, maybe just uncertainty, another thing that will really help is being egotistical, bro. Just take your it's always safe to just think you're right, right? It's always safe to think you're right, but not in an egotistical way. Like I'm talking about in a situation where you know what's going on, but someone's trying to tell you something else, but you know it's what you're thinking. You don't take other people's side when you know it's the truth. You don't even consider, like, you might want to consider, you might want to think, because what if they're right? No, bro. You know better. You know what's going on, right? You know this nigga's being passive aggressive. You know this female's playing games with you. You know your family's getting in the way of what you got going on right now. You're not imagining it. All these things, right? All these things you have to take your side on. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to thinking, when it comes to something that you're thinking of that's affecting like you in a relationship, right? But they make it seem like you're imagining it. Take your side always, bro. You're not imagining shit. You're not making shit a bigger deal than it is because you already don't do that. You already keep shit chill, right? So why are they trying to say that you're trying? You know what I mean? So Just take your side, bro. It's safe. It's a safe bet to just take your side. Take your word for it. You know more than other. You know, bro. You're smart, bro. You know more than other people, bro. You know more than the average person. You can explain things at a deep level, bro. Like, what? How is a nigga gonna tell you, like, bro? Right? Yes, you are right most of the time. You have to believe yourself. At least always consider your side. Do not eliminate, because that's how you have a low self esteem if you don't believe yourself, right? You have a low self esteem if you consider other people's shit before yours, right? That's like a people pleasing mentality, bro. That just means you don't love yourself like that, and you think that you're just not very confident in yourself. You think that you're wrong, bro. You're gonna assume that you're wrong rather than assuming you're right at first. Um, Along with that, don't let people plant too many ideas in your head, bro. Don't let people give you too many examples of how they perceive you, right? Don't let people plant many ideas of what they want you to be into your head, because then you're gonna contort to what they want you to be rather than what the fuck you want for yourself, right? Rather than what you want for yourself, which doesn't make any sense at all, right? You should be chasing what you wanted, bro. You should be chasing whatever you're trying to get, right? If someone's trying to tell you to do differently, if it's a homeboy, they don't fuck with you like that. They trying to control, like, if it's a female, she don't fuck with you like that. She wants you to contort to whatever she got going on. And if your family's telling you to do it, they don't respect you like that, right? You need to separate yourself from those. You need to think outside of that shit. You need to take your own word. That's what I meant by you need to take your own advice. You need to separate yourself from those outside opinions and evaluate yourself, then maybe consider them. But it's always you first, bro. You have to be egotistical and selfish, because you're not gonna get shit done otherwise. You're gonna be listening to all these people trying to plant ideas in your head and tell you who you are. You're gonna listen to them subconsciously, right? So don't listen to too many ideas. That's why you need to isolate, right? You need to balance isolating and interacting socially, because people will plant ideas into your head subconsciously, right? Whether it's y'all having conversation, y'all talking, they try to tell you to do, like, it can come in many forms. And you might not even notice it. You'll just be thinking about it. You'll be like, is there something wrong with me? Am I not doing something right? No. They just don't know what you got going on in the background. So it's easy for them to tell you to do shit. It's easy for them to assume something and tell you to do it when they don't know what's actually going on underneath. No one can ever perceive your reality, right? Only you can perceive that the reality. Only you can perceive the reality you're living in. So how could someone else try to determine something like that for you? It doesn't make sense, right? No one can even feel the same as you. They can't experience one day like no one can. It's impossible. Everyone lives a different reality. So how the fuck you gonna try to put your standards on me? That should make no sense. Right? And this goes along, like, this is also something that you need to notice too, though. You can't just blame other people when they do that. You can't resent other people when they do that. You have to notice when you're falling into outside validation, when you're falling into other people's depictions of you, right? You have to, that's your job to notice that, and then check that shit, right? Put that shit down. Not check it in a mean way either. Just be like, just sort of like, just understand it. You don't even gotta say nothing to them, but you understand what it is, and then you can't really fall for it anymore. So it's better to understand than to, like, tell them to stop doing it, because everyone's gonna do that. You probably even do it on accident, right? So it's more important to understand it than to know when to call someone out on it. That shit don't matter. But yeah, y'all, that's about it for today. I kind of want to just talk about those little topics, like, and those are important too, because people think those shits that's not regular. You're not supposed to be listening to the voice. You're not supposed to be falling into whatever the voice says, bro. You're supposed to observe what the voice is saying, right? So just have more faith in yourself, bro. Just know that you probably know what you talk about. You know what you're doing. And if someone says that you don't, or someone says that you don't, they probably tripping, right? It's probably just projection. So that's what I really want to mean, right? That's what I really want to say. I'm gonna be coming out with more videos. I'm gonna be coming out with more shit. More topics, more all that, right? But I hope y'all get some good value from this video. I hope y'all like, subscribe, right? And just share the video, bro. Just let other people know about my channel. And yeah, I'll catch y'all.